Hi and welcome to this video. My name's Lou Sims and I'm making this project on behalf of Personal Impressions using Stamperia's Timeless Collection, but I've gone for the single-faced sheets. So we're going to be making an 8x8 album today, and we've created a download sheet for you with all of the different cutting sizes for each of the different pages, flips, flaps, and the album itself. So what are we going to be making in this video? So it's been decorated using elements from the single face maxi pad, but you could use your ephemera, your washi, your stencils to build this up more and more and more. So if we open up the album, it opens in two sides. Now I haven't used magnets, but you could easily use magnets to hold things in place. But I just felt that the weight of these items would hold it down. So as we come here, this is an area, it's a belly band that you could put some extra cards, ephemera, photographs, whatever you want to do. The journaling cards are part of the maxi pad and they've been left plain because again, you decorate them as you want. So both sides mirror, but we'll concentrate on this side. So we've got the square piece there, which has got the belly band. If we open it up, it's decorated on the opposite side, again with a smaller belly band for you to put your journaling cards, your photographs, ephemera, tickets, whatever you would like to do. We've got another strip here holding these down in place, and then we've got a set of flaps, and these could have your photographs on the front and back. They could be decorated up. They could have journaling. The choice is completely and utterly yours. So these open up and we've got 4 of them. I'm hoping you can see everything. And then at the bottom here, we've got another one of the toppers, and it's got the balloon on it to match the front cover. And that opens up to create an open space like this. And close those back together. All those come down, goes up. And that's that side completed. For this side, it's exactly the same as before. This creates a belly band to put all your different ephemera, photographs, journal cards. Choice is yours. And again, like before, it's mirrored on the opposite side, but narrower, so you can see a little bit more of what you're tucking in behind that band. And it's the same flap sizes, but we've decided to go portrait. And these open up, and lots of space for you to add your own personalization. And then finally on the back cover here, what we've done is we've created some pockets to put any other memorabilia you want to put in there. Again, journaling cards, photographs, tickets, ephemera, the choice is yours. And then this all closes, this comes up, that goes down, holds everything in place. So that's both sides done together, closes up, and that's your album. Now you could do a closure if you wanted to, but we wanted to keep the album open so you could then let it grow as much as you wanted it to grow. So let's put this to one side and make a start creating the album. So what we've done is we've created an album for you, and we've done all the cutting measurements, and they are all downloadable, and I'll make sure they're linked to where you can find them. So let's get started. Sorry, I've had to prep ahead. So what I've done to start with is I have taken an A4 piece of card and I have scored it twice. Now all the score lines will also be down in the download as well. And that now gives me the starting point for making my album. I'm working on craft card because I just thought it went with the beautiful papers. What I've then done is I've cut myself another piece, which will stick over the top to create my front. And I've then cut this size 3 times. I've rounded my corners and added a little bit of ink around the edge, but that's personal preference. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm actually going to stick these bits together to create the base of my album. Okay, I'm going to butt very, very close up to the crease line. Don't want it going over, but just want it to be there. And all I'm going to do is just line up all the edges. I'm just going to rub it down on the inside. Now, what I have done is, because obviously I'm only using a 250 GSM craft card, so I have cut myself 2 extra panels which will sit in this part here and here, which now makes this thicker. I will be doing something also with the spine, but I will do that later on. That's just how my head works. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these 2 pieces in place. Now these are stuck down, which means now this is 500 GSM, which makes them a lot sturdier. Now, whilst this is flat, I'm just going to add on the backing papers that I want to use for it. And I've cut them slightly smaller. I've also left a slightly bigger border than I would normally do, because I just think it's nice to see both the craft and the actual backing papers themselves. Now, the longest part of this album is just cutting out all the different bits that you need, but try to keep the design so you're cutting the same shape out on multiple occasions. So now we've got the album together, and I've created this in 2 different ways. So I've just got all my bits ready to do. Now, the one things I do want to do is I just want to have some tabs that are going to sit and hold things in place. So they will sit there and there, and they're going to hold different features in place. So I'm going to stick them down first so they can be covered by all the rest of our other gluing. I'm dreadful for just eyeballing where I think the centre is. By all means, if you want to be more precise, please be. The one thing I will do, even though I'm eyeballing, is I'm just going to make sure that the 2 pieces do overlap neatly with one another and create a straightish line, she says. And all I'm doing now is I'm just checking all my folds all line up to create that straight line. From when I cut out all my decorative sheets, I have little bits left over, so I'm going to be using all of those strips that I have left over from when I cut my original panels to decorate these. So I'm going to decorate the outside first. And as I said, I'm not sure whether I want to do the same on the inside yet. Now what I've done next is I've cut myself some flaps. All of these are the same size, and I've cut the matte layers just to start with, just to speed up the whole process. So I'm just going to take away the matte layers at the moment. So from one sheet I've cut both layers, and so they match either way. With the flaps, what I've done is I've just scored a line like this, and these are now going to sit inside here. Now you could work, it's completely up to you how you prefer to work, whether you want to work from the bottom and then work your way up, or whether you work from the top and work your way down. It's really horses for courses in that respect. So all I do is I do a little bit of a dry run to work out where I want things to go. And I've decided I'm going to start from the top and work my way down. I'd like to say there was a reason for that, but that's just in my head. Logically, I think how it should work. I'm just going to hold the flap, line it up. Now, I haven't rounded the corner of the top piece there. I could do if I wanted it to match in with the album, but I'm not too fussed. I'm just going to make sure everything just moves over slightly. All I'm doing is giving myself on the edges here the same sort of border and the same at the top. If you want yours to be precise, you could draw a pencil line all the way round and work to that. This is one of the reasons I stuck the tabs down, because now we'll be covering them with all these different bases. And we've got this one here. And I'm just going to line it up to the bit there. I'm going to leave a little bit of gap, so I've got a bit of movement when I lift the flap up. I'm just going to put this one down just to make sure everything lines up, which means that one goes like that, and this one will go like this. And I'm going to carry on now with the remaining two pieces. We've got those in place. Now, this part is still exposed, but we're going to be doing something different with that part. But we'll let these dry first before we come back to doing that part there. So this will now sit over like this, and this will sit over like this. Now, they will move, but we have got a plan that we're going to be doing with that. So I've taken one of the backing papers, and it's going to sit like so. And from the same backing paper, I took another image, and that is going to sit at the top there. And I've rounded the corners, and I'm going to carry on and build up each of the different pages. So we've now got these sheets going, these flaps going down, and these can be decorated with your photographs, adding more embellishments on. But we're going to really focus on the construction of the album. So that and that will sit on the top like so, or that way round, like so, holding everything in place, and we'll come back to decorate this side. Now on this side here, I've cut exactly the same imagery, and this now is where you could bring you in. Let's just move these out of the way. You could start, so the flaps went upwards, which means when the book is open, you'll have one flap going up. I'm hoping I can do it, and one flap going down. which extends the way the book looks. You could do it so they are mirroring each other, so the flaps are going the same way. Or unlike the way I did this one here, you could start from the bottom and work your way up. Or you could do what I thought would be nice to do, which means I'm going to start the flaps so they actually are going to be vertical rather than horizontal. So I just thought it was a different look and it could open in a different way, and also means when I'm working on the book, it's all contained, she says. So I'm going to start sticking these in place. The flaps are identical in size to the previous layout there, and that's really so you can create a quick album by just cutting the same size repeatedly rather than each one being slightly different. I'm sticking these like this. Now, these parts, these strips here, I'm actually going to keep so it mirrors. So there are some parts that are identical. You could have changed that if you're going to stick this way, and if you wanted them to go in a different direction, stick these down first and then that first piece, and you could have them so they're going across. So you can completely change the way your book looks to suit the style that you like the idea of. So I'm going to start sticking these down, but unlike before, I'm going to stick and I'm going to put the backing papers on at the same time just to speed everything up. That's the two sides done, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look at this area here and also this area here. Now to talk about this bit here. So I'm just going to open up these flaps, and what I've done is I cut myself a piece of card or paper, backing paper, that will fit inside there. And I've cut myself some flaps, again, that all the sizes will be written down for you. And I'm going to stick them in place so everything sits like so, as you can see. So we're going to stick those down together. I can't make my mind up yet whether I'm going to keep it square, which I probably am, and these two will sit there together and open up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick these flaps down first. Now I could cut away, but I'm going to do something else. So we've got those two there. And now what I'm going to do is take this piece of paper, and that's going to sit in there, which covers those parts up. And from the same backing paper, I've cut two smaller pieces to sit on the doors. So that now opens up as if it was a continuous page, but these fold into the middle. Now in the same book, or on the same pages, you get these beautiful frames. So I've taken one of the frames and I'm going to stick it to the first. And I've taken another one, and this one is going to sit there. And I'm leaving quite a big gap between the two. You've got some other toppers as well. So I've cut myself a piece of craft card, and I'm just going to stick the paper down. Now I haven't put anything on the opposite side yet because I didn't know how much space I would need. Plus, within the single side sheet pack, you get some smaller toppers as well. So I was going to just get the one I wanted in place. And now I could put it so it goes there. So I've got a little bit that way. I could centralize it, you know, so it's how visually you would like it to be. I'm probably going to go for centralizing it. So we've now got that there. Now, it'd be best to leave that dry, but just to show you what I mean, I'm going to open it now. So this, the weight of this will hold both these doors in place, so they won't open. You can use magnets if you would like to use magnets, and using a magnet, let's slide you guys along. I would put the magnet here and then put the backing paper over the top. So that now holds those in place. These open up to be as you wish. We've then got the flaps coming over the top. As you can see, this flap will go there and this flap will go there. So I'm trying not to use magnets, but the weight of all the different layers we've done. So I've cut myself some extra pieces, and this part here is going to sit on the top, and the weight of this will hold these in place. I'm just making sure everything's straight because it'll bug me if it's not. There we go. So this is going to sit on the top here, and it can be centralized. So I'm just looking at the bottom part there. So I'm going to put some glue here. Now I'm covering up all this beautiful backing paper, so I could have used just a small strip there at the end, but I just, for speed, it was easy just to cut the strip. So I'm just going to line it up with my marks, make sure everything's done. And I've cut myself a matten layer, which will go and sit on the top there. Like so. And I've got myself a strip which is the same width as these two strips, just visually for the front anyhow. So I'm just lining everything up, and I'm going to use this to make a belly band. So I'm just going to put glue at the top and the bottom. we're just going to line it up. So when they're dry, it means I can put some cards and everything in place. I'm just holding the glue so the glue has a chance to grab. To cover some of this up, I've taken another piece of craft card. Now you don't need to. You could technically take some of the strips you've got left over and have this showing. I just wanted to make it more decorative, I suppose. And also it means the more weight I've got on this part here, the more it'll hold down all the different flaps and different layers we've got in the book without the need for any magnets. So I'm just putting some glue down the middle because it means then with that there, I can still slide things underneath to create different matte layers. And again, I've taken one of the beautiful labels, toppers, journaling cards, and that's going to sit on there. So we've got that side done. So let me just pull this towards me so you can see what I'm going to do next. So again, I've cut a piece of the backing paper because I want to hide all of these parts. I'm just going to hide these. And line it up. This time I've cut a strip so it's smaller, so it's something a little bit different from the previous. So I've got a contrast. And again, I'm just going to put some glue top and bottom. And this was one of the reasons I didn't decorate the inside of the flaps, because I didn't know whether I needed to, and then I could grab some of the smaller strips that I've got left over and maybe fill the gaps that way, or just leave it so we've got a little bit of the craft. So I'm just letting that go off, and I have got a strip that's just going to sit in the middle. So this is just going to be a plain belly band rather than have a decorative topper or journaling card on the top. So now this will sit there and it will hold everything in place because of the weight. You could still put a magnet down if you really wanted some extra security. I quite like leaving it as is. So that's that side. You could cut 2 more of these because they would fit in if you wanted some extra flaps. But I thought it'd be nice to do something again different on this side. Now I'm taking some of my backing papers that are left to create some pockets. So these are strips I've had left and they will layer up on top of each other, and now I've got some pockets to put different tags, different embellishments, so it's completely different to the opposite side. But we'll get sticking these now. Now I've cut the backing paper slightly smaller than the layers that create the pockets, and that was so I thought it gave just a completely different view and made your eye think or look to see what was there. So we do need to leave those to dry. And now that sits on the top. This one sits here. And again, we've got this one. I thought it'd be nice to keep some of the parts very same, but slightly different, so that everything then did seem to like to coordinate. So now, as I say, these will move because obviously there's no magnets holding them in place, but everything is kept in place. So again, it's personal preference. So this now is going to sit on the top and look like that. And these had the crease in just so your album can get slightly bigger. And we're just going to decorate the front of our book. So I've cut myself some different embellishments to use, and I'm going to just start layering up the design. I've gone for one of the journaling cards, but again, I kept a plain, and I've gone for lots of different elements that you can cut out at both the back and the front of the pages. And I'm just going to begin layering it up. So everything in the book that we've created by your own cardstock has been using the Timeless Maxi Pad, the single face sheets, and we've created this finished book. As said previously, all the cutting guides to make the actual book are on a download for you. It does not include the matte and layers because we're all different with how much of a gap we want to create with our matte layers, whether we want larger borders or smaller borders. I really hope you have fun making your own album using the Timeless papers or any of the other Stamperia papers. Watch out for the next set of videos showing you different ways to use your scrapbooking papers here at Personal Impressions.